here on Carlton Town TV after, well, probably the most interesting game I've seen all season and for a long time. Tommy, rather than just go over the whole game in one go, we'll attempt to break it down a little bit.
Okay.
So,
if you can, yeah.
So start of the game, started off a bit slow. Wisbech got 2 early goals. Why do you feel that was?
Complacency. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and no matter how many times you warn them, and it's same with the other teams I've managed, you warn them, don't look at the league table, there's no easy games in this league. We have to do a preparation right. The warm-up wasn't going, they were quiet in that, and I just thought we went out complacent. We had looked at the league table, the lads had. Credit to them, they managed well. The effort and commitment was second to none. Probably one of the few teams that's worked as hard as this season. And that played a factor in it, you know. It was tough conditions first half as well against the wind. So a bit down to us. And, you know, take nothing away, they were good. They were good today. They don't deserve to be where they are, but then that's this league for you. It's a tough league.
And we did respond.
Yeah.
I agree, the wind played a big part,
yeah.
But against the wind still, just before half time, at some points a lot of fans were saying we just need a goal to get us back in the game.
Yeah.
Instead, by half time, we'd got 2.
Yeah.
Talk me through the comeback.
Well, that's down to our lads have got good drive and attitude. You know, this is, I think, first time I can honestly say, you know, they didn't turn up for the first 25. But in general, they've got a good attitude, they've got a good work ethic. And they work their way back into the game. Bit of luck maybe, I don't know, but you always need luck to win games. And yeah, I felt then that we'd go on to win it, but I also felt that we needed to make changes, because the issue we've got today, Josh, is our 2 experienced outfield players that play every week at ball in Fletch. Ball is flued up, Fletch is injured. Then the average age swiftly comes down to about 21.
Yeah.
And it's not easy having just a whole group of kids together, you know. So that was a difficulty today. We maybe lose one of them, but to lose both of them is always difficult for Carlton Town.
Yes.
2 players like that.
It's hard then to break down second half by any, like, because of the madness that it was to have 6 goals after 4 in the first half.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to break it down as a question, so just talk me through the madness that was that second half.
I think conditions play a part. You've got a swirling wind, you know, the pitch was cutting up, it's a lot better than it has been. And, you know, in all my 25 years, there's always been one a season where you go, you know what, I don't know what just happened there, and you can scratch your head, because normally we are rock solid defensively.
Yep.
You know, we don't concede goals. Even when we've lost games, it's normally been by the odd one. I just think it's one of them freaky days. Both teams were at it, and everything that got struck seemed to go in. The public's certainly been entertained. It's not my way of winning games, you know, prefer the clean sheets, obviously. But I don't think there was a lot wrong, other than it is one of them days, and trust me, every manager in the country will have one of those days. And the unfortunate thing for me is we've got 3 points.
Penalties galore today as well. Do you think that was conditions, or was it more just that both teams were quite scrappy and physical? Conditions,
I think. As I say, you nick the ball away on this, you know, it's hard to stand up for any, and I'm not saying there was penalties, I'm not saying there weren't, because I couldn't really see. But yeah, conditions played a big part. And, you know, I'm not taking anything away from our lads. We deserve the win, definitely. But as I say, I thought Wisbech, people have to be careful against them, because they'll take some scalps. It's not like last year where I think, you know, I know Carlton were bottom last year and Gressley, they were whipping boys. I don't think these are, and I don't think any of them near the bottom are. And you have to be on it every week in this league.
So every week, so let's go to season as a whole then, because I haven't really had a chance to chat to you about that. So obviously very stark difference from last season. What's made the difference in the dressing room and with you and Mark coming in?
Just, we've got them fitter pre-season, definitely. We're one of the fittest teams in the league. Obviously with young players that comes as well. And I just think we've encouraged them. Today was the first rollicking proper, you know, I used to be quite renowned for the air dryer. Today, half time was the first one they've had, because I believe with young players you have to encourage them all the time. But the fact that they were complacent today, that's why they got the rollicking. Because I've always said to them, and this is how, you know, what we live by, is that we work hard on the opposition, and then if we lose the game, then we lose the game. Today we didn't do that for the first half an hour. So the difference, we've encouraged them, we're fitter, and there's a good feel about the place. The lads are all together. You know, a couple of disappointed to be taken off at half time today, but it could have been any one of 11. But in general, they've got a great attitude. They all turn up training. You don't get any texts on the day that I can't make it. You know, they turn up and they're committed to a football club. You know, let's be honest, the majority in this league are paying a lot more, but they don't get the heads turned. They knuckle down, and they're a good group of lads. They really are. It's a pleasure to work with them. I've enjoyed it so far, and long may it continue. You know, I mean, for us to be where we are, you know, it's a minor miracle, so we just hope we can keep it up.
Yeah, well, let's keep the miracle going, because that's currently, everything you talked about there is reflected in the league table.
Yeah.
And obviously heading into the second half of the season, do you see us there still at the end? Like, if we keep fighting the way we're going, is there any...
Yeah, I think, you know, it's coming down to the 4th and 5th places, isn't it? I think Leek and Stamford are the best teams in the league, definitely. I think then it's scrapping for the other places. Frickley's getting strong now. You know, Kidsgrove I think will end up there. And you know, if we can hang around this top 10, our teams tend to finish strong because the pitches get better, the weather gets better, sort of thing. You know, the midweeks come into play, and I think as long as we can keep everybody fit, that's going to be the key. You know, what we don't want to be doing is going into the last 10 games without, say, a Martin Ball, a Dan Fletcher, you know, because, as I say, that's the biggest thing, replacing these key players. But yeah, I think we can hang in around here. You know, I think people doubted us in September, they doubted us in November, and we're still in there. We're still in there, and we show good resilience. You know, last week was a good result. Sutton, we should have beat them, but it was a good point away from home. So we are showing that we're not a half a season wonder, if you know what I mean. I think we've got it in them staying in around where we are, definitely.
The other thing we've got coming up is the County Cup.
Yeah.
That I was sure you'd love to get a trophy on the cabinet.
Yeah, absolutely.
How far do you think we can win that? Obviously, this season that's changed a bit with Notts County and Forest getting under 23 teams in the competition. How do you think that'll change the setup, and do you think Carlton can do it?
I think it's good to have Forest and Notts in. You know, the under-23s, they'll play some great football. They'll move it about, whether physically they can stand up to the challenge of teams like us, Baseford, etc. Baseford are the Stonewall favourites, they're the best team in Nottingham. I do believe if we can avoid playing Baseford at their place, we've got a chance. Yeah. But 100%, you know, they're head and shoulders above all of us in Nottingham. And it's interesting that they've got Forest at home, because I expect them to do Forest. Chris went to Baseford to take that cup lightly. You know, he's a winner. So I just think that we've got a chance, but the draw I don't want is Baseford away, because they know how to play on that pitch and they're good footballers. You know, so down here it's a different kettle of fish. You know, it's a smaller pitch, but you know, you've got to take everybody. You know, you've got Newark in it. You know, Dunkirk. There's a lot of good clubs in it now, and total respect for our next opponents. I don't know when it's going to be because of the floodlight issue, but we'll treat it with the utmost respect, because yeah, it'd be great to finish in the top half and a bit of silverware as well. So I always take the cup serious.
Last question.
Go on then.
I promise I'll let you have a pint soon. Darryl scored today.
Yeah.
Previous club legend, and you know, coming back, getting his first goal back, like how perfect is that for him?
Great. I mean, me and Mark actually hugged, because he's been brilliant since he's come back. You know, he's not played a lot of minutes, but his attitude around the place, he's that bridge between the coaches, the managers and the players. You know, he's always honest. He'll spot when a player needs picking up or putting down, you know, and he's just been bang on, and you know, he's always jovial. You know, we've always got a crack, Obviously a lot more mature now than when I first had it. But it was a great night. It just rounded off the day really, because it was a good goal as well, a really good goal, and we're all chuffed to bits with him because he's great to have around the place, and a nice lad to boot as well.
Well, you're great to have around the place, mate, as are all of the lads. Cracking game today.
Cheers. Thanks, Josh. Thanks so much. Cheers.